All right. Yes.
Okay, Destination Aries, by Straylor. It's Patrick Scott. You are well, I'll let it speak for itself.
Destination Aries RX-17 game exhibit number 4. Here we go.
I am Colony Ship 2, designation Destiny. This is my final status report. Power and supplies were limited. I prioritized systems. The crew had minds of their own, so I guided them. I kept resources balanced. To recycle is to triumph. And I avoided catastrophes before the crew could even blink. I thought I could get them across the void. It wasn't enough.
So that is Destination Aries by Patrick Scott, and another management game. You play as the AI, and your main job, is to keep the crew alive. Basically, you're managing what they need to do. There's events that happen. The one given in the gameplay footage was that someone was sending prank calls and pissing people off. So before they came over and kicked their asses, the AI was like, "Let's not do that." And I actually really like the idea of it. It reminds me of with the shipbuilding aspect a little bit of what's the game?
You're thinking of oh shit, I can picture the icon.
The Burnout. I'm talking about
Yep.
Burnout, man.
No, it's just brain fart.
Yeah.
FTL.
Yes, FTL. And then with the whole management aspect of it, again, this really tickles my fancy. My fancy loves to be tickled.
It's like
As you know.
it feels like a sci-fi version of Dwarf Fortress meets FTL.
Yeah, a little bit. And
Um,
resource management involved in that sort of
yeah,
stuff.
resource management, and it doesn't seem like you can really order people to do things. You can just kind of nudge them. Um, and I'm really interested to see exactly how. I mean, this is a roguelike, roguelike. So every time you're going through, it's not going to be the same. It's just I enjoy these games in bursts.
Okay.
Because for me it's so stressful because I'm an optimizer. I when I'm playing video
Efficiency.
games, it's like I can do this, I do this, I got to do this.
That's how I am with Stardew Valley. I try and be as efficient as possible, and then it's supposed to be a chill game, and then I end up stressing out
You
over
end
it.
up all freaked out and stressed, and like I can't play FTL for the same reason that like I'll be able to play this but only for a little while, is because like I'm going to be trying to find that optimal build or that optimal micro, and not be able to find it and put it together. I'm definitely going to play it though. I mean, why wouldn't you? Destination Aries is available on Steam. It is early access at the moment. 15.99. It is. I can't see which simulation strategy early access goal. Most recent update was June 30th. It says it's nearing the end of early access.
Ooh, oh snap!
Yeah.
And I think it's been early access for about a year now. Next couple, no, a year and a couple months because it came out in November. Early access, I think.
Right.
So there you go. Well, something else that's also in early access. It's our next
Mm.
game. The winner of the last giveaway, Wishits or Wishits. I don't speak words. Um,
Tough Story Volume 1, Big Hell.
all right, and this is a longer gameplay video, so we can just talk over the rest of it.
Start talking.
Your cam's gone, by the way. I just want to let you know.
My camera is gone.
So, Tough Story Volume 1, Big Hell. This is coming out in volumes, but this is the first, which is in early access, so plenty of gameplay to go even after this game, I would imagine. It is it is inspired by the action movies from the 60s until present time. What specifically Westerns, obviously. What I like about this game is I like how, first of all, the quick respawn as often as you can die is much appreciated. the quick respawn. I like the fact that it's like dual wielding the shotgun and the revolver, and there's a reload mechanic and the badass meter. There's a lot more depth than what initially looks like. Mm-hmm. And it plays similar with the top down, like quickly going from room to room type of thing. It plays a little bit like Hotline Miami.
Okay.
You know,
I was going to say, yeah,
fast pace kind of play.
Part of the, I love the motif. I'm a sucker for old school, Western types, and I hope everything works out, because part of the description is every volume is going to have a new theme, new story, original soundtrack, so on and so forth. So cool, this one, right? It's a really cool idea. You know, like I'm really interested to see where this goes, and I really can't wait to get my hands into and onto this one. It is currently on sale. Uh,
70%
it
off, I
shouldn't
think.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 70% off.
This
It's
is totally worth $5, man.
this is it normally sells for $4 US. You should totally
Oh,
go pay.
$4? I thought it was
Yeah.
$5.
No, it's only
Man, guys,
only
go
four
buy it.
dollars. Currently on sale for $1.20 or more. He does give you that option, so you know, help him out. I love it. Like what you've got.
So what genre do you think he's going to go for next? Like as far as action movie goes in Volume 2, I know it's a little early to think about, but
Um,
I'd like to speculate.
given where we're at right now, like assuming that there's a thematic progression, the 80s are probably going to be uh, embodied with the action, like the Arnold Schwarzenegger type action. That's my theory, my hypothesis. I have
As long as he promises, if you're going to go with those kinds of things, there has to be really bad one-line puns after he kills
no, no,
everyone.
no, no. You didn't need that. I mean, you're getting through this without, you know, are you feeling lucky punk type stuff. I mean, it's embodied in the gameplay, and I'm okay with that. I like the gameplay telling the story, being part of the character of it. Um, I don't know. I like it. I like it. I want to play it. I want to do more. And you should really check it out. I can't tell if it's Windows only, but I don't. No, it is Windows, Mac, and Linux.
Hot damn.
So, yeah, check it out.
So yeah,
Original soundtrack. Let's see who did the soundtrack. Inspired by Ennio Morricone's work, but adding a heavier tone.
tough story, big hell. Go buy it for $4, preferably more, since it gives you the option to pay.
There is also a free demo.
Well, there you go. You can try it out first, and then when you're hooked, then you can pay the $4 or more. Speaking of hooked, I think we're going to be hooked on our next game once it comes out, and that is, whoops, I'm on the wrong thing. Lamplight City by Grundislav Games. All right, and this is another long gameplay. It's actually the entire prologue gameplay, so it's about 11 minutes long. Excuse that. First of all, I want to say Francisco Gonzalez, the guy who makes
Grundislav Games.
Grundislav Games, just fantastic. He did Shardlight last year.
In collaboration, yeah.
It was published by Wajidai. However, he's no longer with Wajidai, so Lamplight's going to be published either by himself or another publisher. But yeah, always beautiful pixel artwork in these adventure games. If it's anything like Lamplight City, it's going to have excellent narrative. And someone in the chat said the animations are legit, and I agree. And I will say that cinematic music, especially after he got out of the carriage, is just beautiful. That gave me a little chill.
There's a certain level of ambiance and immersion to these that I never expected from pixel, point and click adventure.
Well, part of it too, I think, is the art in itself, and there's a lot of detail in it, even though it is pixel art. There's a ton of detail, shading, right. And the lighting is fantastic too, which you don't see a lot in pixel art games in general.
As a whole,
yeah. And I think, and like at this point, you see the camera angle. There's a lot of intrigue, and it's like he's chosen the point of view very well in each of the scenes. I think, it's almost like you're someone hiding in behind some plants in this flower shop. You know what I mean? And you're just watching this drama go down. Very subtle drama, obviously at this point, but I don't know. He does a really good job all around.
We're being told music for this is done by Mark Bennis, and Holly, we'll talk on that later. In terms of environment, a little bit more about Lamplight City, heavily inspired by the works of Edgar Allan Poe and Charles Dickens. You have 5 classes or cases to solve. It's a mystery. New Britain is a beacon of progress and industrial advancement in the New World. And you're playing a police detective that's coming in to solve this adventure, this mystery in an alternate steampunkish Victorian past. So
check out
single
this more
click
detailed art coming up, by the way, of close-ups of the character models. It's cool.
Single click interface, no inventory. Your clues get compiled in your case book, and this is also, right in line with their sense of humor, a whopping 640 by 400 resolution.
A classic point and click kind of ratio.
Exactly.
And I think too, it kind of works. Outside of the nostalgia factor of that, like for instance, the carriage. Obviously, that's not the entire resolution of the game, but talking about immersion for this specific game. Using that resolution to your advantage, and then bringing it down even more, not being afraid to do that in the carriage, so you're closed off like you're inside of the carriage. You know what I mean? You're not seeing the carriage go by the whole city. It's just in there, and that's all you see, and you're in that situation. Right. So very well thought out in that way. Man, I'm always impressed. I can't wait.
And envious of the skill that.
Yeah, I can't wait for this to come out. Because Shardlight was a ton of fun, so this is gonna be awesome. All right.
Before we kick into the next one, I just want to get started so that we have it. Josh is going to be playing some games in our next segment after this. I have created a straw poll. If you want to go and vote for that, we'll give each game a little bit of time as we can. Starting at the top of the ideals and moving down. What do we got next? It is
J.A.R. J.A.R. with dots in between periods by Fast Vision Games. All right, and that is J.A.R. Fast Vision Games. You can find that right now on. Let me get the thing up on itch.io. It's very. I will say it is very obviously very very early access. A lot of placeholders, non-textures, that sort of thing. It's actually on the version 0.0.4. So, and that's actually quite sick.
So it is. It looks like it has a lot of potential. I'm interested in seeing, like kind of getting a better idea. It's described as a 3D platformer. I kind of hope that this is a fairly solid ideas to the character design, other than T-form obviously, but I hope, because I think it's an interesting shape for it. I hope there's a bit more of a story to it. Currently there's about 12 levels. I'm interested to see what happens when it gets some fleshing out and some more work done to it.
Yeah. And it is free, by the way, on itch.io, so you can check it out. And I think this is one of those situations too. If you're willing to go check out J.A.R. and play some of it, and then give your feedback, because it's such an early development, it would probably be super helpful to the dev, and then to continue to build on the game. I'm sure it's placeholder, and obviously there's no animation, but I personally kind of hope that the model, with more detail and animation, obviously, but kind of sticks with that general form.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Like, I kind of like the shape. There's something about it that appeals to me at a not quite an emotional level, but almost to that level. Like, it feels comforting or plushy.
He's like the purple guy from that purple mascot from McDonald's, but not purple.
I don't know who you're talking about.
What the hell's that guy? No. You're older than me. You should know who that is. I forget his name though.
Grimace?
Yeah. I think that's his name.
You think? You don't know.
I don't know. It's been a while. That was the 90s. It was crazy. But anyway, apparently your home has been destroyed by some creatures, and now you're out to get revenge. And to do that, you're going from one end to the other of the level, avoiding obstacles like spike pits, and there's some platforming elements, and to get to your goal. So again, go check out J.A.R. by Fast Vision Games on itch.io, and the link's in there to give them some feedback and help it develop further.
Up next, we have one of those ones that I'm not quite sure how to feel about.
Change that thing. Sorry, guys. All right, go ahead.
I'm not quite sure how to feel about it, but we have Suits and Nukes that is providing Among the Sheep.
All right.
So yeah.
And actually, I'm going to turn the audio off because, again, I forgot these are like Let's Play styles. So I'm going to, again, with the video, I'm just going to credit Just Jeshing You on on YouTube for this video, but I'm not going to play the audio. So, Among the Sheep, again, by Suits and Nukes. Like I said, he's registered several games. Again, you can tell he has his own style, right? And you can get this for free on Game Jolt.
Link is in the chat already.
All right. Sorry, there's some weird noises coming from my place. My kids were being weird.
All right, so you're familiar with shapeshifters. You're familiar with kind of the sci-fi horror. What's the Thing? Definitely, you can tell that there's some inspiration there. You are trapped on a deep space cloning facility, and there's a shape-shifting alien posing as one of the 10 potential and very expensive war clones, because here in the future, wars are fought by proxy with mass cloning farms, so humans kind of take a back seat. you're playing as a single human maintenance worker standing watch in this completely automated city in 3343, and let's see what's going on.
It's kind
Something's
of a
gone wrong.
it's kind of a cool mechanic though, like where you have to scan them on the sly,
Hmm.
but you're afraid to like turn your back on them otherwise because they could be the alien that shapeshifted. Uh, so you have to be sneaky about it, and then when you finally find it, then shit goes down. You have to stab it. I appreciate the mechanic. There's even like some interesting detail interactions. You just saw like that microscope. You can take samples from them and figure out who's the alien that way. It's almost like a deduction kind of thing.
It's like I said, if you're familiar with the thing, uh, you can definitely see where
I love
the
the thing.
inspiration comes. I can't stand it because it terrifies me again.
It's one of my favorite horror movies.
It's phenomenally well done. Uh, and anyways, the Among the Sheep is same same feeling. Like I'm getting anxious. Just yeah, I'm just getting anxious just thinking about this. The stress of trying to figure out which one of my 10 clones that I'm responsible for
It's
are.
me.
I'm gonna drink the gasoline there at the end, so um, bet you got that.
Well,
Yeah,
if we're gonna drink gasoline, let's at least first play some live gameplay.